Hey everyone, my name is Laura Dumay from Balloon Studios and I'm the creative director on Botany Manor. Botany Manor is a first-person botanical puzzle game set in a Victorian English manor. It's the 19th century and you play as retired botanist Arabella Green, who lives in a beautiful stately home. In the game, you're completing your botanical research book, Forgotten Flora. To fill the book, you explore the many rooms and grounds of the manor, researching how to grow rare plant specimens from seed. The next snippet of gameplay takes place in the third chapter of the game, after having grown a few plants already. We just found a key to the orchard, so without further ado, let's head to the orchard and continue from there. So, Botany Manor is set in Somerset, which is a region in the UK quite close to where I live. I live in Devon, but Somerset is particularly known for its apple production. It has loads of orchards and creates cider, apple juice, any sort of apple products really. So we felt it was right to include an orchard in the manor. So right now we unlocked a new chapter and we also unlocked 2 new plants. So let's have a look at these plants of chapter 3. That's where we're at. So the first one in here is the Pixie tears. And we have a little hint that says that this flower is closely associated with orchards. So this seems like a good starting point for us, and let's grow this plant. So the book also tells us that the seed packet is located in the orchard. And that's obviously where we are, so let's have a look around, see if I can find a seed packet. And I see something shimmery over there in the shed. So I'm going to open that and collect this seed packet. And there you go, we just collected the seed for the Pixie tears. So let's have a look at that. So this is pot notes, notes on soil additives. Sometimes I need to add extra nutrition to the soil. I have found the following amounts to work best with my different pots. So this tells me that there is a particular amount of nutrition to be added to a pot, and the pots we have been using so far are the ones with the flower on it, and that asks for 97 grams of nutrition. But I'm not quite sure what this belongs to yet. I haven't really put it together with the Pixie tears, so I'm just going to keep exploring the orchard. And here I can see a microscope set up. So Arabella seems to have been doing some research outside. Why not? It's a sunny day. Take your work outside, I'd say. I would definitely do the same. So let's have a look at what some of these clues are. So these are some microscope slides. This one is a specimen of the foxglove, and there is a sketch attached to it of a sort of cell structure with green dots in there. But I'm not quite sure what those dots are yet. But let's have a look at some of the other slides. So there's multiple sketches, all looking quite similar. This one is of the primrose. Let's have a look at this one, the springland shrub. And then what's this one? Aha, the Pixie tears. So this is the plant we're trying to grow, and we can see that the sketch of this leaf doesn't have any of those green dots in, like the other ones. So this is now directly linking to the plant that I am growing. So I'm going to slot that in my book. Let's have a look at this bottle. Tincture of iodine. Perfect for preparing microscope slides. So this is an example of a clue where it isn't directly related to a plant, it isn't necessarily useful to solving the puzzle, but it gives a little bit more background on the time period or on Arabella or her environment, and that's what we would call a narrative clue. There is a book over here as well, so I'm going to have a look. And this is a book on chloroplasts. In the world of plants, the sun is the ultimate source of energy. Chloroplasts, small organelles inside the cells of a plant, are responsible for capturing the light from the sun and converting it into sugar through photosynthesis. So here we can see the sketch that is similar to the sketches we've seen on the slides, and now we know that those were chloroplasts. However, not all plants have chloroplasts. Some plants rely on organic matter for their energy and do not photosynthesize. They have lost their chloroplasts over time and have instead adapted to obtain energy by absorbing sugars through their roots. It is therefore recommended to add a certain amount of sugar to the soil when cultivating these particular plants. So this is all tying it together now. The Pixie tears is one of those plants that does not practice photosynthesize and obtains sugar through its roots. So that means that we will have to add sugar to the soil if we want to cultivate this plant. So let's add these two clues in, because now I have directly linked them to the Pixie tears through deduction. I think a good next step for me is to pot the plant, or pot the seed. So let's do that over here at the potting bench. Add a bit of water. Perfect, and we've grown a tiny seedling of the Pixie tears. So I'm going to take that pot with me and going to continue into a new area over here, which is the cider garden. A cider making and apple blending chart. Sugar, tannins and acid values given per single apple. So this seems to be in line with what we need, because we need to find a way to add sugar to the soil. And as we can see here, these apples contain sugar. And if I remember correctly, we needed 97 grams, because that's the pot we are currently using. And so 97 grams, I can put that together by combining the knobby russet of 40 grams, the cat's head of 30 grams, and then the Merlin's mist of 27 grams. Cool. I'm going to now add that in my herbarium. And then we have one clue left to find. So there are some apples lying around that I can pick up and I can inspect them, but I don't know which one is the cat's head, I don't know which one is the knobby russet, so I'm not quite sure what to do with those apples yet. So I'm going to keep exploring. There are some more apples lying around. And over here I can see something that could potentially be useful. And that's a cider apple poster. So now I can actually match the correct apples to the ones that I have in the cider garden. So the knobby russet is a green bumpy one. The cat's head is very bright green with a bumpy bottom. And then the Merlin's mist is blue and tiny. So I'm going to now add the last clue to my Pixie tears, and now I have found all the clues and it's validated my progress. So let's have a look around, and I can see here that this looks to me like the Merlin's mist. So I'm already going to put that over here, and this is the cider press of the manor. Yeah, let's give it a try, see what happens. Okay, so yeah, now I get it. We need to place a pot here, and then it will catch the juice with the sugar from the apple. So let's take our pot that I placed here, and let's place it over here. And then we need to go and find those 3 apples that contain 97 grams of sugar. So we have this one, which was the cat's head. Then we have the Merlin's mist, the one we already found. And then the last one should be the knobby russet, which I think is this one, because this looks like a bumpy knobby apple. Okay, so now I'm going to place that one on here as well. And then let's use the press, let's see what happens. Seems like we did it. That was a little snippet of gameplay of Chapter 3 of Botany Manor. I hope you enjoyed coming along and growing the pixie tears together. Thank you so much for watching.